That's what they're trying to give us, is the mind frame that we're supposed to have in the kingdom.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bookmark this, and this is gonna be the first thing I ever read to my son from the Bible.
Well,
I swear to God, bookmark Rondale. I'm gonna be like, this is the story that Rondale gave to me. I wouldn't have came across this passage if it wasn't for him. Thank your uncle. We breeding some hustlers. We is not no.
All right, so you ready with me?
Yeah.
All right, so it's a quick story, but it's three. This chapter's got 3 parables or 3 stories that describe the kingdom, and we're in the kingdom. This is the kingdom of King James, right? Jamestown, Virginia, right? And we're reading the book of King James, right?
Okay, I'm not there with you there, but I hear you.
All right, so I'm just prefacing that we're in the kingdom of King James.
King James has nothing to do with me. And
No, I ain't saying nothing to you. I'm just saying, all right, is it not a fact that the first colony established in the Northern Americas, the English towns, we speak in English right now because of
Jamestown, Virginia.
Okay, Jamestown. And the Virginia's because they came over on the ship called the Virginia, in honoring the Virgin Queen, okay? Queen Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen. My point is that this is his colony, and we speak in English because of him, okay? And he left a book for his kingdom that he authorized for his kingdom. And in the book is his translation.
Are you saying the KJV?
King James Version.
Okay.
I'm just saying, that's the connection between King James and King Jamestown.
Okay.
All right,
now,
so
when you say that's right.
I'm just
for my understanding, I want to ask a simple question.
Okay.
When you say all of this, right?
Okay.
Does it affect any narrative of the biblical story that you and I know?
Well, we're gonna.
Yes or no?
Oh, okay.
You are after. Just give me a yes or no.
Okay. You said, does it affect the biblical narrative?
My understanding as an Ethiopian, ancient Christian, Eritrean, ancient Christian, Egyptian, ancient Christian, right? Does it affect my knowledge and understanding of the Bible? Yes or no? And then if you say yes, you can give me your answer after we finish this. And then if you say no, you just can carry on.
All right. So you said, is it supposed to affect your narrative as your understanding?
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to give you understanding.
Okay.
But it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to affect any traditional concept that you may have. It's just supposed to.
Does it alter from the Hebrew Bible?
No, we're about to read it. We're about to read it together. We got to discuss. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think about it. I'm just saying that all I'm saying is that the relationship between Jamestown, Virginia, okay, and the KJV is the man named James.
Agreed.
And he is a king.
Agreed.
And this is his domain.
Agreed.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So because because we're talking about money and we're talking about a kingdom and a parable that describes our time and our age. So it says, all right. So it says, and that was a good question. I'm not knocking you at all. I mean, of course, I like that kind of stuff. But
I just wanted to make sure because the way you were describing it, I had to make sure where you were going so I can.
All right. So when we read these stories, it's supposed to be relevant to our time. It's supposed to be relevant to us in this day and age.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I'm reading the stories, I'm thinking about like, okay, how does this apply in my generation and to me? So that's where we started. We started out, the parable, it pretty much ends. You ought to have put my money with the bankers so that when I came, you could have gave me my money back with interest. So he's giving this game on how are we supposed to be operating and thinking in the kingdom from either a master's perspective or the slave perspective. It's up to you which the person want to take from it.
What do you want to? Do you want to be a hustler? Or do you want to get hustled?
That's what it is. But he gonna tell you that the people who are able to make profit, they're going to inherit the joys of the Lord. Meaning like Miami, the yachts, the nice living, the tropical, the trips overseas, the
You justify it because I like that.
No, I'm just saying that you get to enjoy the joys of the Lord. If you make money, make money. But if you got to use your time to make the money, like that means how are you gonna go somewhere if you can't go because you got to make the money? Because if you don't go to work, you don't get to rent, or you don't have a car because you got car payments. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is it's a matter of it. That's what they're trying to give us is the mind frame that we're supposed to have in the kingdom.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bookmark this, and this is gonna be the first thing I ever read to my son from the Bible.
Well,
I swear to God, bookmark Rondale. I'm gonna be like, this is the story that Rondale gave to me. I wouldn't have came across this passage if it wasn't for him. Thank your uncle. We breeding some hustlers. We is not no fucking work.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it is. I mean, well, let's. All right, so you with me, right? You on the 14th? Okay. So it says, for the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country. All right, who called on his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received 5 talents went and traded them with them, and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. So trade and gain are both used in that. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. Lord meaning master. And notice that Lord's is lowercase. It says his Lord, meaning that in this kingdom there will be slaves and masters.
Yeah.
After in 19 it says, after a long time the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents.
Where's the account part? I'm following with you. I don't see.
Okay. It says that's you read it. 25 verse 19 to see what your Bible says. Verse 9.
I wasn't at 25, 19. I'm at 19. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with him.
Okay, so that's the word they use for yours. Mine says settled accounts. But reckon means the same thing. It means to come, and he came to get his money.
Okay.
He came back to come get his money back, basically. All right. So he had 20. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you a ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. So on 22, he said, he also who had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents beside them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. So the point is they both doubled their money and they both got the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you did 5 or 2, you doubled the money that your employer gave you or whatever, he gonna be happy. You know what I'm saying? If you send me out and I come back and I doubled your money, you gonna be happy, right? So it says enter the joy, but it says on 23, which is an odd number, his Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. All right, you have been faithful over a few things. I will make you a ruler over many things. Enter the joy of the Lord. So that's another point right there, is faithful over a few things, and I will make you a ruler over many things. And what that means is, okay, if you good with $25, you're faithful. You got faith, and you invest this $25. Because you were faithful with it, you had faith to multiply that. Now you can have the joys of the Lord, right? So be faithful with a little, and then you'll receive more, many things. All right. So, then it says, then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gathered where I have not yet scattered seed. Therefore you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Therefore take the talents.
Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which hath 10 talents.
Yes. For to everyone who has more will be given, and he who have abundance, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And cast, which is like a spell, the unprofitable servant, into the utter darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? And then it goes into the last parable. We're not going to do that, but he divides the sheep and the goat, like we're doing right now, the vax and the unvax, the right and the left, you know, the Democrats and Republicans, right? So if you notice, everything that we're living in right now, this is the unveiling, the revelation. This is the Bible ends in the 22 chapters of Revelation. This is the 22nd chapter, 22nd chapter. And it's talking about your people. I bet you that'll blow your mind. Hey, go to Revelations 22 real quick. I'm going to show you your people.
Revelation